The most mind-blown moment of growing up and being like a celebrity kid and having that access. I danced on stage with Michael Jackson at Wembley Stadium. I think it was like the Dirty Diana tour, like 1989 or something. And here I am, there's like 80,000, 100,000 people, and it's pouring down rain, and I'm dancing on stage with Michael Jackson, and I'm just like, what is life? And I was like, I want to do this. This is what I want to, what I want to do, you know? Growing up in my family, it was nonstop creation. So it was a very natural kind of thing to feel like what we would do with the rest of our lives would somehow be creative. I took a theater program, and I just really was like, if I'm gonna do this, let's jump. Let's jump off the cliff and just do it. Hi, my name is Brooklyn Sudano, and I am an actor and a director. My mom was Donna Summer, the singer and entertainer and artist extraordinaire. My mom was really funny and goofy, and she would wake us up doing characters like on the intercom in our house sometimes, and these like English accents, and me and my sisters would be like, why? Can you just wake us up like a normal person, please? At the end of the day, she was just a mom who loved her kids, and I would always say that she was like the ultimate stage mom, because no matter what it was, like if she saw something in us, she would just really try to empower us to do it, to not be afraid, to like go big or go home. My mom always called herself an ordinary girl. A lot of the things that she experienced were what women every day experience. It's like one of the only black girls at the school. I was starting high school, 14 years old, so you can imagine all of those dynamics. And it was the first dance of the season. I didn't get asked. And she's like, Brooklyn, you're gonna go. And I was like, no, I'm not, I didn't get asked. She's like, so, who cares? She's like, just get yourself together, look great, and go have fun. And so I did. And it really taught me a lesson. It's like, don't be afraid to go do what you want just because it's not happening in the way that everybody says it needs to happen. And that really marked me. When I miss her and I'm like, man, I wish I could call her right now, I really just think on what she's already taught me. Because I feel like a lot of times the answers are really there if I just be quiet and think and just be still, you know? So this one I love because Christmas was always like a super big holiday for my mom and for us as a family. Her birthday was December 31st, so the holiday season was always like a really big moment for us and spending time. And so seeing the tree decorated and all of that, she took a lot of pride in making Christmas a moment. And me and my little dopey self. Every celebrity kid, if you want to say, there always is a journey, I think, with that. You know, it's almost like part of the gig. And I think everybody deals with that differently, particularly when I decided I wanted to really go into entertainment. I wanted to know for myself that I could do it. I wanted to know that I was there because I deserved to be there and I worked hard to be there and I had the talent to be there. My big break was a television show called My Wife and Kids. And when I first got that job, people were like, well, how did you get it? And I'd be like, I auditioned like everybody else, like, you know? And so I think it was the assumption that like somebody made a phone call and they just gave me the role. So, you know, for me, it was always important for myself more than anybody else to know that I deserve to be in the room. I think when that's the first thing people know about you, sometimes it's like all of a sudden then you're dealing with a whole set of questions before they actually know who you are. Most of the time when people would find out that my mom was Donna Summer, they would find out from somebody else in the room and they'd be like, how come you didn't tell me? And I was like, did you tell me who your mom was? I mean, if I let in anything with that, you would look at me like, okay. You know, growing up the way that I did, sharing my mother was just always part of it. I don't know, I just love these baby photos. When I think about just all that she had done at that point when I was born, it just really blows my mind. And also with her fabulous red nails, like, doesn't matter, she has like a 2-month-old. With this documentary, a lot of times people are like, oh, it must have been so hard, it's so honest, like how did you do that? And in some ways, It was hard, but not really. I think there is a certain comfortability that I have with that because my mom has never always been all mine. But I know doing this film is an extension of her dream. Love to Love You, Donna Summer is my directorial debut. I co-directed it with an Oscar-winning director. His name is Roger Ross Williams. Being an actor, you get like this much say a lot of times in how the story progresses. And so to have a vision and to be able to see the storytelling go in the way that you feel is most impactful was really empowering for me. And I have a lot more confidence in my storytelling, both in front of the camera and behind the camera. Like I definitely have caught the directing bug. The whole filmmaking process, the research, the edit, just being able to talk to people has really scratched so many of my creative itches, and I really look forward to doing it again. I think the biggest takeaway for me in doing the film was really just having a much deeper appreciation for how intense 1975, 76 to 1980 was for her. The intensity of that stardom and that fame. I mean, she did like 2 or 3 double albums. She was on tour, she was recording, she did all the major, Johnny Carson, Merv Griffin, like anything that you could do, she did. And so when I think about her having to do all of that and the sacrifices that she had to make, the amount of grace that I have for her now that she was able to survive that and then have like a really successful life, I just have a lot of gratitude and I'm really grateful for her as my mom. And then it's interesting, as I was doing this documentary, like there were so many photos of me and my sisters and not a ton of just me and my mom together. So this is actually one of the few photos that I have, like when I'm a little bit older, of just the 2 of us. So I really love this photo. I could have never imagined when I first had this idea that this is where I would end up and that this is the film that we would have created and that it would be on HBO and that the whole world would get to see it. It's bigger than I could have ever dreamed of. I came here and I used my art and I used who I was for good, you know? I mean, what else is there but love, right? I mean, it sounds like super cheesy, but really like what else is there? If you can leave somebody better off, that they understand maybe themselves a little better, that they understand their parent a little bit better, that they understand that their dream is worthwhile, whatever it is, that's the good stuff.